Alright guys, so I picked this flashlight up on Amazon for $20. Yeah, this is the box it came in. Cool presentation. I already opened it up, so let's just go ahead and open this up. And what it does come in this box. And that's pretty cool presentation of the box. Thanks for using Wuben. And it comes in this plastic, tucked in here, and you get a USB-C charger, and you also get a lanyard and a small key ring. You'll see right there. So yep, that's pretty much what you get when you open it, and of course the instruction manual right there. All right, and I ended up getting the kind of like green one, army green, I want to say, military green color. Let's get started. This is about the same size as a Zippo lighter. Look how tiny that thing is. This thing is like extremely tiny. So first things first, this does have a swivel head, so you could point in all different kind of directions. It does come with a magnet right there. You can see that. Let's get a little, all right. But yeah, there's a magnet there. And this right here is where you could slide that lanyard onto. Next thing, it has this clip that's movable. So you could put it here, throw it on a hat, spin it. And then this also goes, so you could actually hook it on this way. I don't know what you would use, you know, that for, but you can hook it on that way. But there is ways that you would want to use this, so it actually gives you any option. And then then it turns this way. So it says Wuben. Let's see if you can see that. Where is that? Let's come on, adjust. There we go. So Wuben G5, and right here there are markings, charging, on, and locked. And that's for this right here. So that means it's on. Slide it up, slide it all the way up, opens up the USB-C charger port, and we're gonna keep this way, right? Now, to turn this light on, it's one click of this button, which is pretty cool because it is kind of flush, so you can't accidentally press it in your pocket or whatever. But let's click it once. That turns on, and they have a little dial here where you can spin it and adjust the brightness. And when it clicks like that, or when it flashes like that, that means that's the lowest. And of course, when you go up higher, clicks again, and that means at the highest. And I believe this is like 400 lumens, but it only lasts for about a minute, and then it starts stepping down, and which makes sense because this is a tiny battery, so probably lasts about 40 minutes. I want to say it says supposed to be like 50 minutes, but it is probably like around 40, maybe 35 minutes if you keep this on. So yeah, so that's it. So let's step this down so I don't blind anybody. All right, so now that it's on, if you press it one more time, you can turn it off. And now let's turn it back on. Now if you hold this button down while it's on, it turns into RGB mode. And again, with the same dial, you could spin it and it starts changing colors, which is actually pretty cool. I tend to keep it on red for like nighttime and stuff when I'm walking the dog. Now if you turn it back off, one click, turn it back on, because it does have a memory, it stays that way. So whatever you leave it on, it ends up remembering. There you go. And like I said before, has a rotating head. And this is cool. It has a heat sink for the light, so it doesn't get too hot, or it helps with the heat. And now when you're in this mode, or yeah, when you're in this mode, if you double click it, it goes straight to high, which is the 400 lumens. And at this point you can't rotate or change the thing, so you want to turn that back off. Like say we hold it down again, go back to RGB, double click, and it turns into a beacon mode, which you can't adjust. But if you do change it when you're in RGB mode to a certain light, and then you do that, you double click it, it actually becomes a beacon. Let's turn that back off. Let's change this. I'll show you right now. So there, I'll double click, and now it goes to beacon mode in whatever color you set. So what I did right there is I held it down, and you can test the power. So if you hold it down, it blinks blue. That means that, you know, it's charged. If it starts blinking red, that means you got to charge that up. So let's turn that back on. And this is cool. So it does say over here, I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a little icon that shows, like, you know, it's hot. So that's just a little warning. So they do have an option where this flashes, kind of like a warning flash, I want to say. But if you double click it while it's off, it goes into that mode. Now if you double click again, changes color. There's red, green. Double click again, changes color. I want to say red, yellow, and then back, and then you rotate and it goes back to red and blue. So I mean, overall this is a really cool little flashlight, little gadget. I like it. I put this in my fifth pocket and I barely even noticed that it's there. I do like the fact that it does have all these little markings. They pretty much covered everything on this thing, so there's not much more than I think I could say about it, except that, yeah, I've been using this. It does get, you know, scratched up a little bit. I'm not sure if you can see it, but with this, if you leave it here, it's going to, you know, affect like the anodization of the paint or whatever. But, you know, overall it's still a well-built little item, and Wuben did amazing with this little tool right here. Hopefully this helped a little bit, but you know, if you buy this, I guarantee it's gonna be something that's worth the $20. So check it out, find it online, and let me know in the comments if there's something I missed or what your favorite color is. I like this color. They have a cool white and blue one. I want to say it kind of looks like a Star Wars type. And then they have the regular black one, but I chose this one. Let me know which one you got and which color you got and what's your favorite. All right, so thanks for watching again, and I will see you guys in the next video and the next gadget or the next gear that I get. Thanks, bye.